Let's talk about a mission named Stardust. In 1999, NASA launched the Stardust mission on an intercept course with a comet named Wild 2. The mission had three requirements: fly through the tail of the comet, collect a certain number of particles of a certain size, and then return those particles to Earth. Piece of cake, right? It took 5 years to get there, the return trip took another 2 years, and the total distance was more than 3 billion miles. Stardust launched on time, it was $1 million under budget, and was a tremendous success. It achieved all its objectives. I think it's fascinating that project leaders consistently describe Stardust as a very simple spacecraft with a very focused mission. Again, they only had three requirements: fly through the tail of the comet, collect some particles, and bring them back home. A lot of the hardware for Stardust was actually borrowed. It used a computer that was originally part of the Pathfinder mission to Mars, and it used a Motorola radio from the 1998 Mars Surveyor. The camera was originally designed for the 1977 Voyager mission. There were a few minor upgrades, but it was essentially a 20-year-old camera. Interestingly, the production line on that Motorola radio closed before Stardust's funds were available to make the purchase. So they were able to borrow money from the NEAR project, the Near Earth Asteroid Rendezvous project, because they were part of the same portfolio, and NEAR was operating under budget, so they had some money available. You get that kind of flexibility when you have a portfolio of small, quick projects that are delivering under budget. The following year, when Stardust's funds were available, they were able to pay back the NEAR project. But here's what's really cool. After achieving all its objectives, Stardust had an encore up its sleeve. In 2005, 6 years after Stardust launched, a NASA mission named Deep Impact paid a visit to a comet named Tempel 1. The mission was simple: send an impactor into the comet to make a crater and take pictures of the crater. This would give scientists a peek beneath the surface and give us a sense of how this comet was structured, what it was made of. Turns out Tempel 1 was dustier than anyone expected, so Deep Impact ended up with pictures of a big dust cloud rather than a crater. It's a mission failure. Fortunately, Stardust was still out there, still had some capacity left, still had some funding left, so they did some maneuvering, and on Valentine's Day of 2011, Stardust encountered Tempel 1 and took photos of that 6-year-old crater now that the dust had settled. This 2-for-1 bonus is common in simple, low-cost missions like Stardust. It's just one more reason to pursue speed, thrift, and simplicity.